Hey everyone, we're going to have a go at using one of these book moulds. Now this is a book jewellery box type thing. And the reason I wanted to have a go with this is because I'm hoping this will fit on it somehow. This is the thing I made a few days ago, which by now you may have seen the video of. And this is the one I thought was far too fiddly to even make out of resin because all these little fine bits. Now I haven't actually got some of these fine bits out yet. But it's now gone really nice and firm. So they're just coming away easily, look, like so, which is just fantastic. Right, so it's what the heck do I do with it now type moment, and I thought about this book mould. So, thank you to Glitter and Glitz by Michelle for doing a book mould recently, because that made me think, oh, I've got a book mould. That would be a thing to do with it. So thanks, Michelle, for the inspiration. Right, let's do this. So, I've got some resin degassing nicely over here. And I'm going to just chuck in, I'm going to go for a deep purple. I want it to kind of look almost like a witch's spell book. Do you know what I mean? That sort of feel. And this mica pigment is called dark purple. I mean, that sounds perfect, doesn't it? So let's get a little bit of that out. And it's from Let's Resin. The resin I'm using is Apex High Gloss. It's kind of favourite go-to resin. And this is currently one of my favourite colours because I just think it's this most beautiful, lovely, subtle purple. So what we're going to be doing with this book then is making it all sort of quite dark and witchy. Is that dark enough? I'm not sure. I might put a dot of black in there. And then we'll be sort of embellishing it afterwards. Now in Michelle's video, she painted gold all around the inside of here first. That worked really well. I'm going to try and do something different though, because it'd be boring if we were all making the same videos, wouldn't it? Now I'm just going to put a little bit more in because I want that to be a little bit more opaque, and that is quite a big pot of resin. I'm just hoping it's enough actually, otherwise I might have to mix up a bit more. We can do that, can't we, boys and girls? I think I do want it a little bit darker. It's very dark already, isn't it gorgeous? Look at that colour. Look at that. And these high quality mica powders, you shouldn't get the lumps coming to the surface, you know, where they don't mix in properly. I'm being careful to go all around the edge, give it a good stir. And then what I tend to do is just leave it a couple of minutes. I mean, there's still some bubbles coming out of the resin because it's degassing. I'm just putting one dot of black pigment paste in. And we will stir that just to darken it down a little bit. Of course, we've got some right angle shapes here, so what I'm going to be doing is pouring around the edges first, and I'm going to let it just kind of flow around like this. And hopefully that will reduce the possibility of any bubbles getting trapped in those right angles. But we can also do a bit of this, see, just squishing like so. I've just got my hands inside like this. Hopefully from the side camera you can see that a bit better. I hope you're liking the camera angles, by the way. I'm trying to give it a little bit of a variety in the hope that you can see better what I'm doing. I don't know. Let me know if you think that works, having the second camera there. I've been asked recently what I'm filming with. Yes, it's iPhones still. I've recently upgraded to an iPhone 15, but I've still got my old 13. So this here, the side camera, yeah, I'm going to need to mix some more up. That's being filmed on an iPhone 13 mini, and this one is an iPhone 15 Pro. So just as people kept asking. Right, I'm just going to mix up a bit more red. Okay, there we go. Got another pot full. Put the black in as well as the purple again, just to make it that little extra bit dark. As you can see, the bubbles are popping lovely. It's all coming out nicely. I stir too fast. I'm known for it. I'm sorry. If you're mixing these up, resins up of any sort, the slower you stir, the less bubbles you'll get. But I do know this one degasses well anyway, so yeah, I tend to get a bit blasé about it. I hope that's enough. But let's see. This one is going to have, I think it hasn't got much of a lip around the edge, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Yeah, as in terms of getting bubbles trapped under there. And this is the bottom anyway, so I'm not going to get too panicky about that. But this is a whole different ball game. So the important bits are the bottom edges and the corners on this one. And then with this one, of course, this is going to be the lid. It's the cover of the book. So we do want to make sure we haven't got any bubbles under the edges. Now, because it's quite a see-through mould, it's quite nice for A fairly inexpensive mould, actually. You can actually see, there's a bubble, look. You can actually see where it's trapping bubbles. So we're going to do some tipping around. We're going to do some squishing. We're going to do some giving it a tap. It's really handy that you can see where the bubbles are. You see they're already coming out of this end. There's one there. Definitely want these two out, don't we? You don't want croppy corners. No. See what I mean? The bubbles are just popping out of there. You can see them coming out. A little bit more to go. A bit of squeezing. And I'm just going to keep going all the way around before I fill it right up. There's a last little bit of resin to go in there still. Now I hope that has got all the corners out, but just in case, I'm going to get a micro brush. Now micro brushes are great. I don't like poking around in moulds with anything that's got a bit of a sharp end or a metal tip. Not if I'm going to actually touch the mould, because it's a quick way of getting them all scratched. These are probably quite sturdy moulds, because cheap moulds are just rough and tough, aren't they? But I am a bit careful. I sometimes use my stirring sticks. They've got rounded ends, but even so, I'm careful not to touch the mould. But if I am touching the mould, yeah, micro brushes are ideal because they've got little fluffy ends on them. So you shouldn't, theoretically, do any scratching, and you can get right up against the mould with them. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm getting into the corners, but I'm also, as I go along the sides, lifting it like so, which hopefully will release anything that might be trapped. I can't see any, so that's good. Now, in here, same again. Oh, I've got black pigment all over my gloves as usual. And I should have done this before it was completely full, but it's the outer edges I'm really concerned about, so I'm going around with my little micro brush. And we're going to do the inner edges, just tipping the brush the other way. And you're not going to harm your mould doing it like that. There we are. Ta-da! Sorted. Right, final little top up of resin, then I'm just going to abandon them for a few hours. Now this resin takes, you know what, I've given up saying, it takes X number of hours to cure. It very much depends on how warm your room is. It's quite warm in here today. I would imagine I'm going to be able to demold these quite soon. Right, so I'll see you in a few hours and we'll see how we're getting on. See you later. Right, time to demold. That's looking good. Don't seem to have any bubbles around the edges. Get the inside out. Twisting's, I always find, the easiest way to get the inner ones with the inside bits out. Oh, I did well there. No bubble. Oh, this one. Oh, bubbles. Oh. Well, it's on the inside of the lid and there's not many. We can live with that. Let's turn it over. Oh, that's nice, and it's gone all spooky and weird. Hey! See, that's how it goes together. Isn't that cool? Now, does this fit? Does this fit, or am I going to have to do some trimming? Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little bit of trimming, aren't I? Only a bit to be fair. I think on the whole we're okay. It's just a little bit here. Right, I'm going to let this air a little bit because I do want to finish off, do some finishing touches on this book first. So to start, we've got all these little fine details here. Need to do something with those, and then the edges of the pages. There's a little book cover. Let's put him there. I hope that glue is going to stay where I've put it and isn't going to go all over the place and make a mess. I've got some acrylic paint, which I'm just giving it a blooming good shake. It's from Deco Art and it's called Champagne Gold, this one. And as you can see, it's like an antique look to it. It's not too gold, if that makes sense. Now, it doesn't look that gold in there, does it? But you'll have to take my word for it. It certainly is. Right, my cloth ready. Get a brush, and all we're going to do is brush it along the spine, but we're just making sure we get into all of those areas, and then we're just going to wipe away the surplus. Now, first of all, I'm going to wipe it from any surfaces I didn't want it to get on, so we're going to go along this edge first. Again, I'm using my Wonder Wipes. You have to go a little bit careful so you don't pull it out of the lines. Okay, that seems to have worked. I'm just going to go over with a fresh Wonder Wipe, just very lightly. If you rub too much, it is going to come out. So I'm just going to go around the edges again. And then we're just going to go straight across. Easy peasy. There we are. And again, just a little quick wipe across the back. Make sure we've got it out of off the ends and the sides. I'm going to leave this to dry properly because I don't want to spoil it while I'm doing the pages by touching it by accident. I think that's all dried. There's a really easy way to do raised areas, which I'm sure you're aware of. And here it comes. A resin edging pen. Now this is going to be easy. I don't want to go along that edge there, I don't think. Don't think I do anyway. Not sure. But anyway, what we're going to do is just go along, come up around this edge here and go along. And as you can see, it's missing some of the pages. It's just mostly just catching the raised areas. There's bits where it's catching further into. But on the whole, it's just picking up the ends of the pages. And that's all we needed. Okay, see what I mean? So it's not, in a couple of places it's gone in between, but not particularly. And so that's the effect I wanted. So it looks like it's just picking up the edges. So I'll just carry on all round. As you can see, I've got a tiny bit where I didn't want to, so I'm just going to put a little bit of alcohol in one of my little pots. And that should fetch it straight off. There we are, simple as that. So I'm going to let this all dry. It won't take long for this pen or the paint on the ends to cure fully. This here, the little book, obviously, like I said, I'm going to leave that overnight. I do want that glue to really set, and then I need to do a little bit of a clean up in there and we'll be done. But how's that looking? Good, eh? And I've got this overwhelming urge to do this. Just to edge this book off because it's just bugging me. There we are. I think that'll edge it nicely, don't you? Anyway, I'll see you once this is all set and glue's fixed and everything's dry, and we'll do some photos.